Hello, Bucks fans. We are live. Guys, let me know if I sound okay. If I don't, please put it in the chat. Appreciate if everyone could help me out. I've been having some technical issues, so hopefully I sound normal and there's no scratchiness or loud, voice sounding incorrect. But trying to preview this game. Obviously, it's a big one for the Buccaneers NFC South matchup. Pretty much, if the Bucs win, they're in first place. But yeah, please let me know if I sound okay. Audio is okay. Appreciate it. Welcome in. Good morning. If I don't sound good, I'll change my mic and go a different route. So, but appreciate everyone being in here. Be sure to hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't. Please, we appreciate all the support. Subscribe to the channel. But yeah, I mean, Atlanta Falcons and the Buccaneers match up today. Falcons trying to win their third game in a row. Buccaneers trying to make it 2 straight. And obviously, it's a huge game. So let us know what you guys think. Be sure to put your thoughts in the comments. Hopefully, I'm sounding okay. I haven't got a thumbs up yet from anybody, so hopefully, audio is good. But yeah, let's get into it. Let's look at the matchup. As you see here on the screen, again, first place game. It's do or die. It's pretty much it's a big game for the Buccaneers if they want to have playoff hopes, right? To get into first place, be 6-7. It starts with today's game. But Tampa Supreme, yes, we definitely have to win this game. Let me know if my audio sounds good. I appreciate it if you can share that. That'd be great. So, yeah, absolutely. It's a huge game, obviously, and looking at it. And actually the Buccaneers are favored in this game, which is surprising as far as the matchup predictor from ESPN. But Atlanta obviously beat us the first time, 16-13. Buccaneers just couldn't find ways to score in the red zone, and that usually was the difference. Oh, okay, audio is good. All right, thank you guys, appreciate it. So yeah, let's look at the matchup, and I think big keys for today's game is, can the Buccaneers offense put up points and convert in the red zone? I think that's going to be huge. Looking at it, you look at the injury report. Obviously, the big question mark for the Bucs is Vita Vea. Is Vita going to be in for today's game? That'll be huge, especially against the Falcons rushing attack. And obviously, Falcons are without some starters today. They have no Caleb McGarry. He's out. And you look at the injury report here. We'll pull it up as it loads here. Full injury report. I didn't want all of this, but so David Onyemata is out. That's huge when you look at it. Yeah, this is like their whole injury report. I did not want that. But anyway, they're missing some key starters on the Falcons side. Buccaneers are without Devin White and Jamel Dean, but everyone else, it looks like they're gonna play. We just have to see if Vita is gonna be in for this game. But I mean, keys to this game, I think, again, like I said, offense, they're gonna have to find ways to put up points, especially in the red zone. Falcons defense is playing lights out this year. They're really good. Yeah, we definitely have to take care of the football. Tampa Supreme, yeah, definitely. That's going to be very important. Turnover battle is key. The Buccaneers actually, I think, won the turnover battle in the last game, I believe, and ended up losing on a last, second field goal because defense couldn't get a stop. So when you look at it from that standpoint, yeah, turnovers are going to be huge, as they always are. And Baker definitely has to do a better job of reading the defense and playing smart football, taking what is there. for the offense. So that's going to be huge. Yeah, play action pass. I think definitely got to use the play action. Try to get Chris Godwin. I think is going to have a heavy workload in this game, just because of all the things that was talked about this week, and he had 12 targets in the last matchup against the Falcons. So I think you could see a lot of that happen today, where they try to target Chris early and often and get him involved. And that's definitely going to be a big key. So yeah, just looking at our offense versus their defense, I think the Falcons do a great job of getting pressure, finding ways to manufacture pressure with their blitzes, but also they roll their coverages. Pre-snap they showed one look, and then post-snap it's a different thing that they go into, whether that be cover one, drop back into a cover three, cover four look as far as defenses go. So that's what makes it tough on the quarterback, because they make the quarterback hold on to the football longer than they want to, and then it ends up being a sack or an incompletion because of what they run defensively. And again, their defensive coordinator comes from the New Orleans Saints, and he's done a great job of getting this defense in the top 10 and playing really well right now. So yeah, I mean, just we'll look at I'll pull up their depth chart real quick here. Let's see. I did not want to do that, but so yeah, I mean, just looking at their defense, they've gotten big contributions from Calais Campbell. Obviously, he's been good. The big injury is David Onyemata. He's out, so they're going to have to rely on like Zach Harrison, Contavia Street, Ebiketie. He's been playing really well. He's got, I think, 5 sacks in the last couple games, so he's doing a great job. And then still have Bud Dupree. And then the secondary, led by AJ Terrell and Jesse Bates, they've been outstanding. So I think, the Buccaneers are definitely going to try to, go to that other matchup as far as, attacking with Chris Godwin and others. And Baker's just got to make sure he finds the open man. Obviously, you're going to try to run the football, but again, the Falcons are one of the top teams. One of the top teams in rushing, defense as far as that goes. So let me see if I can. Oh, I see what I did. There we go. Now you guys can see it. Yeah. Okay. It would help if you guys could see it. But yeah, that's their depth chart right there. So that's going to be, very important that the Buccaneers play smart football and offense, and, take care of the football and try to attack the matchups that you will have, especially, opposite of AJ Terrell. You want to attack that corner, try to get some mismatches there, and get Baker in rhythm. And then obviously sprinkle in the run when you have to. But this is a game where I think they have to come out throwing and try to, take advantage. And that's something that Dave Canales has struggled with as far as the play sequencing and making sure things get into rhythm and find ways to put up points. So that's going to be huge. But yeah, so when we look at it from that standpoint, I think offense is going to be the big key in this game. I think defensively, we'll do enough, but we'll get more on that in a little bit. Want to get to your guys' comments. Appreciate all the comments in here. Tampa Supreme and Aaron Watson, thank you. This is a great comment too. Yeah, battle of 2 best safeties in the league for sure. Yeah, Antoine Winfield and Jesse Bates playing really at high levels. So they've been playing really good. Yaya will start. He will be, I think he's starting pretty much every week now. He's taken over the job from JTS. Put VD on the edge. Yeah, that would be fun. I think they definitely have shown that at times. Putting him on the edge definitely works. Tall Florida guy. Yes, defense needs to shut down the run. That's going to be huge. I mean, the Falcons are definitely running the ball pretty well over the last, several games. And, obviously Bijan Robinson is full go now. So they're going to be getting him involved early and often. That's going to be definitely a huge factor. So yeah, when you look at the keys to this game, I think protecting the football, finding ways to stop the run, and then scoring in the red zone. I think red zone scoring obviously is going to determine the game. Can the Buccaneers find ways to put points on the board in the red zone, especially touchdowns? And then defensively, can you force Desmond Ridder to beat you? I think that's going to be, the big factors for this team. And yeah, it's a huge game, and the implications of what this means. I mean, if the Buccaneers lose this game, you're probably looking, most likely it's going to be leading to a new head coach. And also, do you start to play Kyle Trask, going into the future? Because at this point, you're 5-8, and Atlanta pretty much has a lock on the division, being up 2 games, and probably it would be best to see what you have in other players. But again, Buccaneers have a great chance to win this game. Again, this division it seems like nobody wants to win it, right? Nobody wants to put their foot on the gas and take control. So we'll see how it plays out. I think it will be a definitely a competitive game, a close game for sure. So what do you guys think? I mean, how do you feel this game is going to go? Do you see the Buccaneers playing a good game and find a way to, come out on top? Or do you think it's going to be more of the same, where we saw last week the Buccaneers just struggling to put up offense until that second half last week against Carolina, and just a lot of inconsistencies on both sides of the ball, unfortunately. So yeah, Cade Otton, I think needs to be utilized more in the red zone. But again, he's had opportunities, but he's also dropped the ball. Obviously that drop in San Francisco, that wasn't very good. Yeah, pretty much our Super Bowl. Yeah, it pretty much is. Russ Weeks, yeah, you make a great point there. Falcons definitely have an easier schedule than we do. That is for sure. Because they play, I think they have the Bears on their schedule. Let me see if I can pull up their schedule real quick. Yeah. So, yeah, the Buccaneers, they have Packers next week, and then they have Jacksonville after that, and then the Saints. So yeah, definitely a tougher road. So yeah, you look at let me bring this back up. So yeah, here's the Falcons schedule remaining. So they have obviously the Bucs today, then Carolina. So you think Carolina, that's probably a win for Atlanta. Indianapolis, they're playing pretty good football, so that'll be an interesting game. And then Chicago and New Orleans. So yeah, definitely they have a good opportunity of winning the last 3 or 4, potentially. And the Buccaneers obviously not as easy, facing a Green Bay team that is finding their rhythm and playing a lot better. And then Jacksonville, even with a hobbled Trevor Lawrence, is still a pretty good team. So it's going to be a tough slate. I mean, this is do or die for the Buccaneers. Carter Walker, Pewter and Red. Yeah, great comment here. Devin White won't be here in 2024. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be back. I think that's pretty much set, especially if we see Savassier Dennis play really well today, which could be a thing. It would be interesting to see how he plays next to Levante David. I think that's a huge addition for this defense, getting Levante back, and just have to see how the linebacking play does. And they were definitely a lot better last week with JJ Russell in there, and he was the only linebacker. So yeah, again, that will be a big point. Falcons, yeah, definitely have easiest schedule in the NFL. So yeah, I mean, should be an interesting game. I just hope the Buccaneers put things together. I don't expect it. I actually predicted the Bucs to lose this game. I was on the Loose Cannons podcast and predicted them to lose 20-16. And you guys have heard it if you guys are listened to our live streams before. I just don't have any faith in Todd Bowles. Unfortunately, I think the guy's just not cut out to be a head coach. And then offensively, we're just so inconsistent with our process. And that starts with obviously Dave Canales, and then Baker and his inconsistencies and limitations as a quarterback, I think definitely hurts us from an offensive standpoint. And defensively, they just don't have enough as far as, pass rush is kind of up and down. You don't really have a true, pass rusher, edge one, say to speak. And then the secondary has just been kind of just hit or miss. So you just really don't know what you're going to get week in, week out from this team. And I think that is the big thing where it's like you're trying to get on a streak, but this team just hasn't had any consistency. I mean, the only time we've won 2 games in a row was the start of the season, and that was, against the Vikings and the Bears. So it's just hard to think that this team is finally going to put everything together and play a complete game today. You just got to hope, the Falcons make more mistakes than we do. I think that's what it's going to come down to. Buccaneer Bruce, yeah, I think it probably is the end for Bowles and Baker today. But we'll see. I mean, they're going to be, I think, in the game. I think it's going to be close. It's going to come down to the fourth quarter, like it usually does for this team, and we'll see if the Buccaneers can make the plays. But yeah, that's a great comment. I hope to see more JJ Russell too. Hopefully he gets in there at some point. I thought he played really well last week against the Panthers. So yeah, great point. Yeah, they were very consistent in October, right? With all the losses. Yeah, definitely. That is awesome. Yeah. But guys, appreciate all the support. Be sure to hit that like button. Appreciate all the people in here, subscribing and hitting the comments. So just thought I would do this. If you guys are new to the channel, be sure to check out our channel on YouTube, and we have a lot of great content. And it's really fun to dive into this team and really break it down X's and O's wise, as you guys have probably seen our film studies. And this offseason is going to be wild, and we always appreciate your support and what you guys are looking for. So if you have anything that you want us to do or improve or change, we definitely appreciate that. So yeah. Russ Weeks, great comment. Falcons aren't near as good as people make them out to be. We had them beat in Tampa. Yeah, I mean, we did. We were right there. We should have won. We had 3 turnovers inside the red zone on defense, right? So the Falcons were pretty much moving the ball up and down the field throughout that game, but we got turnovers to stop them from scoring. So I think, that's going to be huge today. Can we force them into turnovers yet again and find ways to capitalize on that? You got to be able to score touchdowns, and we just couldn't do it against a Falcons defense that was pretty good. And they've been pretty consistent for the most part. Last week they won 13-8. So it's like they're finding ways to win these close games. So you have to give them credit there. Offensively, I think Desmond Ridder is still a mess as far as a QB quarterback goes. Like, he's up and down too. So it'll be interesting to see how both quarterbacks play. And I think that's what it's going to come down to. Can Baker Mayfield play a better game than Desmond Ridder? I think that's going to be important. Yeah, great question. Great comment here. It is a shame to see us all fans expecting, hoping to lose. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it is. It's tough. I mean, it is tough. I want to see this team win. I want wins more than anything. But at the same time, when you see this process that has continued from the head coach on down, and we continue to see the same mistakes, same inconsistencies throughout, it's just not, you just can't continue to do that, especially the head coach and his inability to, game management, calling timeouts at the right time, utilization of players on defense, utilizations of players on offense and using them correctly, putting your guys in best spots to be successful. That's been an inconsistency from this staff. not playing the right guys. So that is definitely, and then, it goes down to game plan as well. It's just been up and down all throughout the year. And it's unfortunate because you see a defense that has regressed, especially in the secondary. And that's something that can't happen. Yeah, use Godwin like Deebo Samuel more. I would love to see that. I'd love to see them get him the ball in space. I think when you watch Chris Godwin on tape, though, he is suffering from his injuries that he's sustained throughout the years. I think he's not really, turning loose when he catches the ball. He's more in protective mode and trying not to fumble or just make sure he gets, down and protects himself. So I think you notice that on tape a lot where he's not really running full stride like he used to. And hopefully, we see that change if they can get him the ball more in space and utilize his yards after the catch. And that's usually where he's good at, right? He can break tackles, he can do things like that. But it's kind of been not there this season because of what he sustained injury wise. I know he's dealing with the neck injury. So hopefully you can, get that going. Christopher Cole, good to see you, my friend. Morning. Let me know what you think of this live stream. I might start doing this, maybe the day of the game, just to talk about it, get your guys' thoughts, and let us know if you think this should be a recurring thing or you just like the live stream on the Mondays, which we usually do Monday night. But I just threw this together. I was having some technical issues, so hopefully the audio is still good for you guys. And maybe we'll make this a thing of the future. I guess say morning live stream with Plus as if we want to call it that. Yeah, Russ, good comment here. Ain't nobody in the South beating the Cowboys. Yeah. I mean, you're right. I think it's an automatic loss in that wild card. But again, you never know. You got to play the games, right? And if you get to the dance, you have an opportunity. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough sledding for sure in that playoff game against the Cowboys or the Eagles, whoever's, that fifth seed. It's not going to be easy for sure. Even if you are at home, like it's still going to be a tough game. Yeah, no doubt. I think the writing's on the wall. Unfortunately, I think Todd Bowles is probably going to be out as coach. But yeah, I mean, let's just get back to this game a little bit. And I'll wrap things up here and pretty soon. I just wanted to go for like a half an hour just to talk with you guys and see what you guys are thinking. But yeah, let us know. All right. So yeah, just looking at this game, I mean, obviously Bijan Robinson is getting more involved in the offense. So I think that will be a big thing like we talked about earlier. So stopping the run, trying to find ways to force turnovers against Atlanta, and then offensively, capitalize inside the red zone. I think that's going to be key. It's going to be tough. I mean, Atlanta's defense is playing really well. Can we find a way to get enough points in this game to, come out on top? That's going to be huge. So I find it funny that, ESPN predicts us to win. So that is very intriguing. Yeah, great question. AJ Terrell is playing. He cleared concussion protocol last night, so he's good to go. So that'll be a good matchup. I know him and Evans went at it a little bit in that last game. I think Mike Evans, I want to say, beat him a couple of times down the field. Let me see if I can bring up that first matchup. Let's see. Yeah, let's go back. Let's go back over here and look at that first game. Let's see. I can bring up this box score here. Because Mike, I think, let me see. Mike had a touchdown in that game. Yeah. So Mike ended up scoring on the deep sideline throw for a touchdown. I think he beat Terrell on that play. So that's interesting. But you look at it here. I mean, 6 receptions for Chris Godwin on 12 targets. So they were trying to go to Chris Godwin in that game often and just couldn't capitalize. Rachaad White with a good game, 6 catches, 65 yards. So that'll be something to look for. Can we get him the ball in space and let him do his thing as well. Um, but here you go. I mean, just the running game, they still ended up with 156 yards on the ground. I think that is going to be key. Can we stop them with their run game and not let them, just control the possession of, time of possession and find ways to, get in the end zone. And again, Desmond Ritter had a pretty solid game. No passing touchdowns. He had 19. He was 19 of 25. One sack. So they protected him pretty well. Again, they didn't do much. It was just, I mean, look at that, 3 fumbles by Desmond Ritter. And yeah, it was our only touchdown. So yeah, that is correct, which is not good. And good point here. Yeah, Bucs turned the corner, put it all together. They have looked good as individual units. Yes, definitely. But yeah, there's always one unit that gives up the booty. Yeah, for sure. It just seems like it's either the offense doesn't come to play or the defense doesn't come to play, or it's combination of both. Like they start to get momentum and then one unit just has a brain fart and doesn't play like they should. So, yeah, good comment here. Don't sleep on Raheem Morris. Yeah, Glazer's still fired. Yeah, I think that was more so the year after, because he just lost. I think he lost 10 straight games in 2011, so that's why they fired him. But, yeah, I think he'll get an opportunity as another, head coach once again. Definitely, he's much more mature now, older, more experienced. So I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a head coaching job. I don't know if he'll be here, but I think he would get an opportunity. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Fear put the safety on top of Evans, take him out of the game. Yeah. I mean, that is they probably will do that. I think at times they're going to show some man coverage looks because they like to play aggressive. They play a lot of, cover one where you have one safety in the middle. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they shade more towards Evans, and we're going to have to find ways to get the ball to Chris Godwin, right? And, that will be a big key in this game. And can they find ways to spread it around, get other guys involved, and then find ways to set up Mike later in the game, like in the second half. Yeah, no Devin White. Yeah, defense. Yeah, definitely will probably play better. Devin just hasn't been good. Another good point here. It may not seem like it from what we are used to, but I think as far as statistics, we only gave up like 2-3 100-yard rushers this season, I think. Yeah, I mean, we've been good enough against the run. I think we're still top 10 in run defense. The Falcons are pretty good as well. So probably not going to be, I mean, the Falcons know how to run the football. That's the thing. That's what makes it tough. Like they find ways to get other guys involved and run the ball. So, yeah, definitely that is going to be the huge factor, right? Whoever runs the ball better, probably going to win this game, most likely. Being able to control the football on offense, keep your defense off the field, that's going to be huge. And I mean, yeah, you look at Baker's numbers in this last matchup, he threw the ball 42 times. That's never good for Baker. 13 carries for Rachaad White, so 34 yards, not great. You want to see him, hopefully with our improved running game, as it's been a little bit better over the last couple of weeks, hopefully they can do something against this Falcons defense. So that will be just something to watch for early. Yeah, no Jamel Dean isn't great. Zion. Yeah, Zion will definitely have to pick up his game. That's going to be a huge matchup against whoever he's facing, probably either Drake London or, Van Jefferson. Having Carlton back and Carlton played pretty well, last week. So, but again, against not a great passing offense. So that will be important. See how those, the secondary puts it together, for sure. But Again, appreciate everyone in here. Be sure to hit that like button if you haven't already. Appreciate all the support, all the guys that are in here, guys and girls, with your questions and comments, and much appreciated. And it should be a good one. Again, 1 o'clock start. This is it, guys, for the NFC South. Like, whoever wants this division, it's time to put it all together and find a way to win this one and give yourself a chance at a postseason berth and see if you can find a way to get hot at the right time. And who knows? Who knows? So yeah, I mean, we're just gonna have to see how things end up. Yeah, we have yet to have a dominant performance. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's definitely frustrating. So that's gonna be, can they do it today, right? Can it happen today? Yeah, we pretty much dominated the Saints. That was probably our best win so far of the year, which isn't saying much because the Saints are not great this season as well. So, yeah, can the Buccaneers put it together, guys? That is going to be something to look for. Can they find a way to win this game, get into first place of the NFC South, and be at 6-7? And who knows after that? Can they find a way to put a winning streak together? That is going to be the question. Personally, I hate to be negative, but I don't see it happening just because the way of this team. It's just so up and down. You just really don't know who you're going to get week in and week out. But hoping for the best. Thank you guys so much for joining me this morning. Hope you guys like this. Be sure leave us comments down below if this is something that you want to see moving forward. Let me know, and I can try to put something together before games and do something like this. Next week I will be in Green Bay, so pray for me. I'm probably going to freeze. So that should be an interesting time and just awesome experience. So that'll be a lot of fun. But thank you all who joined us. Appreciate all the support. And with that said, go Bucs, and let's get a win.